Yeah. Hold on, I got a paper for you somewhere here, I think. Right past you. Did you take the quiz this way?
Today's the 8th.
Yes, it is. Nice. I'll get 2 more stars. You got a note, Janet? Okay. Max is here. Owen is not. Dave is here. Chris is here. Janet. And Leifus knows. Lewis is not here. Angel came on the late bus. Angel's here. Alex is here. Kevin's here. Alex is here. Maya. Devontae. Caroline. Diamond. ABL is not here. Molly's here. Karina is not here. Annette is not here. Jada is not here. And today is here. All right. Have we finished the questions on the opening? Yes, no, where are we at? Yes. All right, so we look at number 1. How many orbitals can exist at the 4th main energy level?
7.
No on the 4, no on the 7. No. Angel's got a squinched up face over there.
So
I think I did it right in my head.
16. Oh.
Yes.
16.
All right, well, we got 16. Okay, what do I mean when I say 4th main energy level? I'm talking about N equals 4. Okay, 4th main energy level. N equals 4. Okay, so when I say energy level, energy levels have what inside? Sublevels. Sublevels have orbitals. Orbitals have what? Electrons, right? So in the question, I said energy level of 4, and I'm asking you how many orbitals. Okay? So how many sublevels would there be? 4. So their names are 4s, 4p, 4d, and 4f. And I want to know how many orbitals there are in the n equals 4. So you got to add up all the orbitals. Okay? How many orbitals are there at s? 1. How many at p? How many at d? How many at f? So plus, let me get rid of that question mark now. Okay? And plus. How many do we have total? That's how you get 16. Uh-huh. How many orbitals can exist at the 4th main energy level?
So how would you know if it was less than 7?
It would say like the F sub level. Okay? If I just said the F sub level, that would be 7. Mm-hmm. Okay, if I had said electrons at the 4th main energy level, you'd go one step further and you would have said how many electrons at S, and at P, and at D, and at F. So you'd get what?
42.
Not 42.
32.
32. Okay, but there's a shortcut if you want to do the shortcut. What's the shortcut if you want to get the electrons in the energy level?
2n squared.
2n squared, which a lot of you use. You don't go through this, but that's the process if you don't want to use the shortcut.
Like a electron.
Yeah. But again, if you wanted to find the electrons, which was what we were just talking about, okay, for an F sublevel, it would be, instead of 7, it would be how many? So if we go back to the same thing you just asked me, n equals 4 was 32. But if I said the F sublevel, now how many electrons would it have? That's the orbitals was 7. How many electrons would it have? 14. Okay, so it depends on how I word the question. Okay, if I have an individual orbital, it's 7. If I have electrons in the orbital, it would be 14. But if I had the whole energy level, you have to add all the sublevels. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? So if I go to number 2, a single orbital in 3D can have how many electrons?
10.
I hear the right answer.
2.
2. What's the key word in the question?
Single orbital.
Single orbital.
Okay.
That right there is the key. Okay? It doesn't matter that I said 3D. I said a single orbital. A single orbital can have how many electrons? It can have 2. Okay? No, because I said a single orbital. I could have put a single 2p orbital. Okay? A single orbital could have how many electrons? 2. Is why Diamond just told me it was stupid. But it's okay. I won't hold it against her.
On the homework last night, I
Yep.
asked for like the orbital count of certain elements. So when you do the
I'm going to show you how to do those in an easy way. It might be a little long for most of you, and you'll tell me it's too much work, but it's an easy way to get the answer. All right?
but does each of those count? Like 3, 3, yes, 4, 4, those.
Each of the lines is an orbital.
Each of the lines?
Is an
Or
orbital.
each of the little number joints?
Each of the lines is an orbital. All right, which one's a metalloid? Yep. All right. Which of the following quantum leaps is associated with the greatest of emitted light?
N equals 6, N equals 2.
Okay, so to be emitted, what do the numbers have to do? Go up or go down? They have to go down to be emitted, okay? So that means this one's out. That means this one's out because they both do what? They go up, so the energy is absorbed. Is everybody okay with those? Okay, so the greatest leap going down has to have the greatest difference in what? Number. Everybody all right with that? Okay. Any issues with opening number 1? All right, can we talk homework? Yeah. Oops, what? Okay. Let's talk homework and applying the numbers. Let me find my questions so I'm not. Staring over somebody's shoulder the whole time. That's clearly not it. Now tonight, Caroline, I will post answer keys online. All right, number 1. We did 44, right? So we're on 45. So a maximum number of electrons in the s orbital would be how many? 2 is correct. The s sublevel can hold 2 electrons. All right, let me find a periodic table 1. All right, letter B. A full main energy level, second main energy level has how many electrons? 8. All right. The key there is it says second main energy level. What does second main energy level mean? All right, when it says second main energy level, that means n equals 2. All right, here's a shortcut for you. Now, most of us are saying things like 2s and 2p, right? Second energy level has 2 sublevels, 2s and 2p. Now, look at your periodic table. Find all the places it's labeled 2. 2s, 2p. Now count your elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many electrons can you have in the second energy level? 8. Okay? If you said n equals 3, just to make sure it still works. You said n equals 3. All right. Don't move the whole table. All right. If we said n equals 3, and I put all the same numbers back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see how comfortable I am counting that? You need to be that comfortable on the test tomorrow so you're not double or second guessing yourself going, did I number the table right? Okay? You want to be able to number the table correctly tomorrow. Now, if I ask you about the third energy level, what's the third energy level? That's n equals 3, right? How many electrons can it hold? Well, check out your n equals 3s. 1, 2, 3 places you got labeled as a 3, right? Count your spaces. How many you got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What would you get if you said 2n squared on n equals 3? Can you get it that way? No. If you forget, try that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that plan. All right. C. The electron dot symbol for aluminum. Whoops, I jumped one. C has an error. Okay? Unless I wrote it in by hand. Did I write it on the sheet? Nope. It's got an error. You can't do it. All right. D. The electron dot symbol for aluminum has how many dots? 3. All right. Anybody not know how to do that one? Let me talk about it. Dots come from where? Outer shells, right? So aluminum is here. It has how many outer shells? So it's going to have 3 dots. All right. E, the third period element with an octet. Where did we say the octets are? And the noble gases, right? All the octets are right here. Third period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are the periods. This is the third period. All the way across. Who's the third period with the octet? Huh? That's not bad. Most days I can't get those straight. All right. F, the number of electrons in the electron dot symbol for sulfur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sulfur has how many? 6 dots. All right. The outer energy level configuration for magnesium. Do I need to write the whole thing? Can I do shorthand? Yeah, let's do shorthand. I'm on the lazy side today. I'm on the lazy side most days. All right, so magnesium is here. So what noble gas is before magnesium?
Neon.
Okay, so Ne in brackets. All right, so what comes here? What block is this? And 1, 2. Okay, so what's the outer shell? Yep, because this is the highest energy level, right? The 3, that's inner shell. So that makes all of that the outer shell. So the outer shell is 3s2. Anything in brackets is automatically inner shell. All right, we did 18 already, or H already. The third energy level. That's a 3. That's a 3, and that's a 3. How many electrons did it have? 18. All right. I, the orbital notation of sulfur, contains how many unpaired p electrons? It's 2.
Is that like you spread it out and then have the person?
Yep. The easiest way to do it is to draw the orbital notation. Now, sulfur doesn't have a big orbital notation, so most people tend to draw the whole thing. It's not necessary. I tend to do shorthand, but I find most students do the whole orbital notation.
Wait, how would you do orbital notation shorthand?
I'll show you in a second. So it has 16. There's 15, 16. How many are unpaired? 2. Okay? These are the 2 that are unpaired. Now, if I did shorthand, I would have done neon, 3s2, 3p4. Now, where's the only place in shorthand that they can be unpaired? Yeah. These are full. These are full. So the only place I'm going to have anything unpaired is here. Did you bring me a note? Okay. So the 3p4, who on earth is that from? The who? I know. Who signed it? You don't know who signed that thing? Dang. All right. So if 3p4 is the one that's not full, that's the only one you need to draw. The rest of them are full. So 3p, 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many are not paired? But most people tend to do the whole thing. I was just saying you could do that to save time. All right, that brings us down to P. Among the elements, which one would have 5 dots? All right, well, 5 dots has to be what? How many outer shell electrons? 5. So you're looking for the element that's in this group. So which one is in that group? P. All right. Among the sublevels listed that cannot exist, can 1s exist? Yes. Can 2p? Yes. Can 3p? Yes. Can 2d? There you go. All right. Did somebody say why not? All right. Look at your periodic table. All right. That's one way to do that at this point. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Find the pieces on the periodic table. Does 1s exist on the table? All right. Does, what else do we have? 2p exist on the table. Okay. Does 3p exist on the table? Does 2d exist on the table? There you go. Okay. That's a quick and easy method for you to find them. All right. Now the reason is the D is a third sublevel. So the number in front of it has to be at least the number of the sublevel. So you'd have to have a 3 to go with the 3D. So you can't have a 2 to go with the third sublevel. All right. L, the element that contains a single 4s electron. So 4, S block is here, right? So this is 4s1. This is 4s2. 2. So who has 4s1? Yep. All right, the number of inner shell electrons in phosphorus. Now, 2 different ways you can do this. You can write phosphorus's configuration. And you can either add them up and say the outer shell is here. The inner shell is here and say 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. You can do that. Or you can do what we did yesterday. Phosphorus has how many electrons? It has how many total? It has 15. Angel said there's 5 on the outer shell. So how many would be on the inner shell? 10. You can do it either way. All right. The number of electron-containing orbitals in F. Electron-containing orbitals. So if you want to know the actual orbitals, they're asking for the number of lines. All right. You have 9 electrons in fluorine. So 1s, 2s, 2p. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many orbitals contain electrons? It doesn't say full, doesn't say half full, it just says contain electrons. 5, because 5 lines have an electron. All right, and the last one, yeah.
What are the numbers of the letters at the bottom called then? Sublevels?
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers here, those are energy levels. And that is a sublevel. That's an orbital. That's an electron. Sorry, labeled in your notes way back when we did orbital notations, but
What is L?
what is L? It's an orbital quantum number. So you mean like what's the symbol for L?
What is the answer?
Oh, the answer to L, sorry. Potassium K.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure.
Okay. I was too apparently because I thought you meant which quantum number. All right. The number of unpaired electrons in arsenic. What'd y'all get? 3 is right. All right. And again, since this one has 33 electrons, this would really be one that I would want to do in shorthand. Okay. Because you would not want to draw 33 electrons out on the test. So if you were doing this one, AR, 4s2, 3d10, 4p3. What's the only part of that that could possibly have unpaired electrons? The last one. So this is the only one you would want to draw to see the arrows. So 4p would have 3 lines, and how would the arrows look? 3 singles. And that's all you would need to actually draw the arrows. You don't need to draw 33 arrows out to see how the arrows look, because you only need those 3, right? Does that make sense? There's no need to spend 65 questions drawing that many arrows out on the test. All right, number 13. The number of electrons in the outer shell of bromine is 7. The atom with the configuration given in B is Se. The first element containing an electron in D is Sc. Now, D sometimes causes issues. The first element to contain a pair of electrons in the D orbital is iron. Iron. The D sublevel has how many orbitals? 5 lines, 5 orbitals. Now, it said a pair of electrons, right? So how do the electrons fill in a D sublevel? 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what happens? They pair up. So how many electrons before I get a pair? Okay, so we're talking 6 electrons. So what do I have to do in the D sublevel to get a 6th electron? I have to do what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You remember that again on
Okay, in the D sublevel, how do the electrons fill the orbitals?
single
They fill them singles. And then they do what?
They double up.
They double up. So the 6th electron is the one that pairs, because the question says the first element to contain a pair of electrons in the d orbitals. The first one to pair. So the first one to pair is that 6th electron. Okay? Does that make sense?
But why would it just be the second one, the D sub one?
Because the second one's going to go, this one's going to go up, 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 this one's going to go up. Those first 5 are all going up in their own orbital. They're not going to pair. Okay? The second one's not going to choose to share with the first guy. He's taking his own room. All those first 5 elements are going, no, I want my own room. I'm not pairing up with you. But then the next 5 is their space for them to have their own rooms. No. So Fe has to go back over here and do what? He's got to share. No money for an addition. No space. He's got to pair up. So iron is the first one to share. All right. The 5th, or the element with the dot symbol that consists of 5 dots in the 5th main energy level. What do they mean when they say the 5th main energy level? N equals 5. Okay. It also means the 5th period. Okay. So when they say the 5th main energy level, they mean the 5th period.
Wait, but couldn't you have looked on the right side?
Hmm?
What those were energy levels.
Well,
The left period and that one's energy levels.
these match these. Right?
I thought they were different.
Mm-mm.
Like I knew that the same numbers, but I thought they meant different things.
Same thing. They match, right?
So they take the period and the energy level?
The energy levels for S and P match the periods. The only ones that don't match are the, which ones? D and F. The S and P match the periods. It's just D and F that don't.
So we forget how to label it. P is labeled the same way as S is.
Yep, the only one I ever leave off is the 1. Because it's not really, they're close to hydrogen. But you can write the one over here next to hydrogen, or you can write it over here. I told you the first day you could choose.
Wait, so the other one is 3, 4, 5, 6?
Mm-hmm. This is 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, what's the first place you can have a D sublevel? What N is the first time you can have a D? Look at Devontae back there. S, P, D. Right? So that tells you what to start the D sublevel with, a 3. What's the first place you can have an F sublevel? 4. That tells you what you can start the F sublevel with. 4. So if you forget, think about those things tomorrow on the test. When you're thinking and second guessing yourself like you were the other day, thinking I numbered my chart wrong, where's the first place you can have an F? A 4. And you can know you numbered it right.
Which one was it when we labeled the periodic table in the 2 rows at the bottom with 6 and 7?
Those are periods. Okay? The 6 and the 7 are the periods. All right, so back to the question. It said the 5th period, because it's a 5th main energy level, and 5 outer shell electrons. So who would have 5 outer shell electrons to be in the 5th period? Yes. All right. A full 4th main energy level would have 32 electrons, because I want to move on. The first element to have an F electron is CE. Yes, F is 32, G is CE. What was what? SB. H is the most oddly worded question on the planet.
Yeah, I hate that.
The answer is BR. I have nothing worded that poorly on the test.
That's what I got, but can you swear? 'Cause I really.
Basically, it's telling you that you have the same group as fluorine. Okay?
Because it said.
All right? It has the same group as fluorine, but instead of having principal quantum number 2, it's got principal quantum number 4. All right, they're trying to tell you it's in the same group, but it has a different quantum number.
So
Quantum number 2 and quantum number 4. It's trying to tell you it's in essentially period 4 versus period 2.
So the quantum number is the same thing as the principal number.
It's the same thing as a period. Period 2 versus period 4.
The periods tell you quantum numbers, energy levels, and periods.
Yes. I told you, I won't word anything that poorly on the test.
Because like what I did was, I like
Put your note on my desk, ABL.
with the S and P, and then just sort of like whenever.
Yes. That's what they wanted you to do. It's just poorly worded. All right. I is PB. All right. You're looking for the same one that has 2 dots. Oh, sorry. Not given by 2 dots. You're looking for the one that does not have 2 dots. I didn't read the question. All right. The total number of orbitals filled in chlorine. How would you do that? You want total orbitals filled in chlorine. You'd have to draw the orbital notation, then count the lines. So chlorine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, because the question said filled, do you count them all? No, which one do you not count? That's right. This one you don't count because it's not what? It's not filled, so it only has 8. Okay, you don't count that 9th one. All right, everybody here, Joe was 8. The number of half-filled orbitals in cobalt. Okay, half-filled. Again, draw the orbital notation. See how many only have lines that have 1 arrow. There's 3. L, the number of electron-containing orbitals in bromine. Again, you're going to draw all of them. You're looking for the ones that have arrows. They're 18. M is Bi. And N, the element containing exactly 19 filled orbitals. Now, what's the easiest way to do that? A lot of people tell me that.
That's like you'd have to do it for everything. So I didn't know where to start.
What's the short way to do it? It says 19 filled orbitals. What'd you say, Alex? Multiply by 2.
Wait, what?
It said 19 filled orbitals. What's a full orbital? 19 times 2 would be what? 38. Which element has 38? Yes. 38. That's the answer. Instead of drawing all those electrons or arrows. That's just a shortcut. Okay?
Wait, can you explain, so I'm guessing JK and L are the exact same thing,
Yes, they are.
and then I don't get I.
You're looking for the one that doesn't have 2 dots. So BA's in what group? In group 2. So how many dots would it have?
2.
So PB's in group 14. So it would have how many dots?
4.
CA's in group 2. So it'd have how many?
2.
ZN's a noble or a transition metal. So it'd have how many dots?
2.
Okay. And SR's in group 2. So it would have. So which one's not going to have 2 dots?
PB.
That's how.
But I don't understand the wording of the question. Like,
Among the elements given, only blank has an electron dot symbol not given by the symbol with 2 dots.
yeah, I did not get that at all. Like,
Which one doesn't have 2 dots?
yeah, but it's like electron dot symbol. Okay, I got that. Not given by the symbol with 2 dots. Like, what is by the symbol mean?
Which one does not have the symbol with 2 dots?
Is there something like that on there?
It's entirely possible.
On that?
It came out of a textbook.
So, are you staying for dinner today?
I told y'all many, many, many times this week, I will be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't know why I give y'all instructions. No one listens to me, Almaja. All right. Other questions about that before we move on?
Was JK and L 8 through 18?
I don't know. I have to put it up. Y'all are driving me nuts. Hand that out. Hand that out. Hand that out. No, please. Get up and do it.
Paper.
Hey, who signed your note, ABL?
Big black guy.
Big black guy, okay. At least you had some clue, because, you know, Annette had no idea who signed hers. Yeah, it's Mr. Mumford. I guess that sort of makes sense, and that might be an AM for Andre Mumford.
Hey, you telling me?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So, you should have 3 different sheets. The 3 sheets that I have left are the 3 sheets that I've not handed out for other practice during the course of the last 2 weeks, roughly. Now, the multiple choice, I usually say for the end for people like Caroline who get a little panicky about multiple choice on the test, because they're like, are you going to have wording like that on the test? Yes. All right. Some of the one that says, let me see. One that looks like this, I picked because it's got some quantum number stuff on it, and some stuff like the quiz that some of us got, like 28s and 16s, or some shorthand on, since some of us were having a little trouble with that. If you're one of those people, then you might want to get my attention and work on that so that I can help you. And the other one is just one that I forgot to give you the other night, because I meant to. All right, typically I only have 2 sheets, and that other one I just forgot. So, the one with the periodic table picture on the back. I will post the answer keys on the website, so you have those tonight while you're studying, because the test is tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow's Friday, very good. Which means you will have no homework for the 3-day weekend, though. So that's good news. Yeah, no school is a 3-day weekend, it's Thursday.
So this is our last on Saturday.
Yes.
And then we have, what is it, 4 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas? Seems like forever.
Don't play with me.
That's the longest week.
And then we go to Friday.
And then we come back to school January 2nd.
Last I knew, we still have early dismissal.
No. So don't plan a test January 2nd. That'd be cool.
I'm not planning a test January 2nd. You always have to catch up on YouTube.
Okay.
Now,
So which one should we do first that will most help us
You
with
wait
that?
for it.
it's up to you, whichever one you want. I don't think any one is more important than the
I
other.
don't know what I'm doing.
So this is like a replica or a test.
No, it's not.
At all?
How many questions? I'm not giving you anything, just a replica of
Well,
the test.
duh, but I mean, like, is it, I thought that we'll learn.
Well, they have English.
Wasn't there?
Will it have simple English? All of it's helpful.
Yeah, in the.
We're all funny, but.
Now, if you don't know where to start, why don't you take a look at this? See if you can do that.
I looked at it, and I was like, oh wow, that looks kind of hard.
Try that.
So, we, the exciting thing is around it doesn't have to be like, right?
It doesn't have to be large, you know.
No, light.
Light? No, it does not have to be light. Now, if y'all are gonna waste my time, I'm perfectly willing to go on to Mendeley. Alright? Now, we can choose between clickers and Kahoots.
That's, it's those awful things
No.
we used to do when we were in.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Okay.
Of course, the computer apparently rebooted.
Yeah.
She had just put Velcro so they wouldn't.
I need to load some questions in it because I just assumed y'all would pick who. But I will be glad to do clickers.
So are we picking from what's already here?
Yes, you have to pick the letters that are in the table.
Oh.
You cannot make up elements. You have to pick the ones that are there.
I thought we had like, no, it is, like, we had to know the
I don't.
places of the elements.
What do you mean the places of the elements?
Quantum model. What is a quantum model? Bohr's model?
No, that would be the one we're using.
The
No, Miss
quantum,
Wicker.
the quantum
I
model?
appreciate the compliment, but I'm not Miss Wicker. Yeah.
It's the same metal.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm gonna take that
I go on and on the same thing.
I'm not like
so much. I hope this might help.
Wow.
Is the quantum model the Bohr model the same thing?
No.
Miss Wall, which one of these papers has the thing that's going to be the most?
I already said, there's no one answer to that. You sound like Caroline now. That's why I told y'all to start with the one that has the periodic table on the back, and then let's see how y'all did.
But there's two. Oh, got him.
Not I.
So it's C. She literally told you the answer. Which one? I know what it is. Mountain
That's why I say, give it a shot. We'll talk about it in a minute. I'm putting questions in front of you.
Is that a metal? Is that inactive or what? Okay.
It means not active.
Oh, I know what it is.
First time I tried it.
Wait, what? Just the electron.
I figured out. I didn't even tell me. Tell me like whenever the picture popped up.
Like,
It was like
it's
search for the little message pops up. He was telling me birthday. I made a picture. It's just a picture with like 5 seconds before
That's not.
Like 6,000.
oxidation number. What's that hydrogen? Because it had it on a little blue sheet, but I don't know if we're talking about that now. Yeah, it is. Is it wrong to assume stuff based off our blue sheet as well?
Is it what?
Like hydrogen has -1 and +1. I remember talking about that on the blue sheet, but it's not. Like,
No, it's not wrong to assume stuff like that.
but how can we assume that with the periodic table? Like, how can I figure that out?
Well, you know, hydrogen was +1. There's nothing wrong with that assumption.
Like you have our fingers and
We're getting ready to go over it. I'm just putting the questions in the clicker.
Oh, right. I know, we just wanted to see the question.
That would be
Or
clickers.
the thing.
Too bad, we're gonna do it anyway.
I thought we were doing these worksheets.
You can do this later.
I really don't want to.
You'll do like 71.
Do we have to do that?
No,
Okay.
but your studio and I still do the other later anyway.
Still not getting again.
Okay, I'm gonna put that list.
Oh, wait, okay. Just can't stay today, but I finished the Zero Reader thing last night, and I'll tell you what I did.
There's
I'll tell
10.
Oh, so I could turn it over and ask y'all. Sit back there.
Yeah, that's like,
It's too real.
the certain.
I feel like Aaron's
So
I'm gonna be good. Sean's all those harsh.
Oh, yeah, it's not there.
You said you were.
It's like whenever I
Say what? Yes. On one line, here I go. No, cannot be on one.
What is the quantum model?
The quantum model is the one with the quantum numbers.
I just can't, my mom told me that.
Like the address?
Because I have no idea.
It's the address. you talked about.
Oh,
Like
The
one,
numbers
two,
that are
zero,
together.
literally all
positive,
line.
negative, 1/2.
They're like,
Yeah, the middle 2 is 4 and then a letter and then plus and minus 1 out. The address.
yeah,
That's what you're talking about.
yeah.
Why can't I see what's in the queue? Not wrong.
Oh, oopsie, that was wrong.
I mean, I can try and ask my mom.
Who got the-
Is it?
It's like the way tab stuff.
I just
The one before this. I wasn't hitting those.
I did, I put, I'm gonna pay for it.
I'm saying, I was saying.
I put,
All right, let's look at what you came up with.
yeah.
Let's do that.
that. Whatsoever at all.
If this doesn't make any sense to y'all, we're in trouble tomorrow. All right, which one's an alkaline metal? C. Why can't you pick I?
Yeah.
That's a gas. I's hydrogen spot. That's a gas. You can't pick I.
Are you on this?
Wrong. This. All right. An alkaline earth metal would be which one? An inactive gas. Has to be A. All right. An inactive gas means you're a noble gas. An active gas is the same as being reactive. Active and reactive are the same thing.
But I have no hope, I'm gonna fail, sorry.
You're not going to fail. Alright. So an active nonmetal, knowing that now. So active and reactive are the same. So we know that now, Diamond. Active and reactive are the same. Substitute in those words. So who would be an active nonmetal?
H.
H.
Oh.
Okay.
You're gonna have a heart attack.
Wait, so C, F-A-H?
Then,
Are we playing the middle letters? What are you going to see? F-A-H?
Down the line.
I don't know. I don't have the answers written down.
Oh, yes.
Alright, a semi-metal. That would be B.
Okay, wait, how is that H?
Because the halogens are the most reactive nonmetals.
wait,
So the most reactive nonmetal and the most active nonmetal would be a halogen, which is why it's H.
never mind.
Alright? A semi-metal has to be a metalloid. So who's in the position to be a metalloid?
B.
That's why it's B. And intertransition metal.
B.
That's D. Because they came out of the middle of the transition elements.
Oh.
They got moved to the bottom.
That makes more sense.
Okay? A common oxidation state is -2. G. A metal with more than one oxidation state. Who?
No.
Yeah,
E. A transition element.
That's exactly.
Oh, I thought
I
I
heard
heard D in my head.
So they have more than one.
E. The transition elements. Use an Earl. Alright? Metal with an oxidation number of +3. J. And who has a +1 and a -1? That's I. Alright.
The oxidation.
+1, +2. These vary. +3. Then you get to the 4. Plus or minus. -3, -2, -1, 0. So you're counting positives up to 4. You get to 4, you start down. -3, -2, -1. Alright, let's do some quicker. Because that's not as rushed as Kahoot, you could think. Is there a winner? No.
Just like.
Okay.
Why would we do this? Oh, what's
Why do you do
the
this
point?
to us?
If there's not a prize, there's no motivation.
See, that's how the real world works.
And don't say my grade is a motivation, because obviously it's not.
Clearly.
Well, then.
There has to be some intrinsic motivation to do well in personal goals. If there's not, I can't fix it for you. If you got no personal motivation, I can't fix it for you, people.
I got extra.
Tom and Jerry are my favorite.
Here today.
I know, but I can't do it here today.
What number is that?
I hate it, sir.
Is it?
She hates her.
It says number of spatial, I'm guessing, positions available for orbitals. The first four orbital quantum letters, and then there.
I'd have to see it. Hang on a minute.
They got 5 days of season.
Coastal came interviewed us yesterday.
All right, come get your card.
Wait,
Number 6.
Wait a second.
Mine is going to be yellow.
Oh.
I don't want this.
Look at it. Pick it up.
And all of yours is spelled wrong because I didn't know it was an A.
You're 12?
You have to turn it over.
Your handwriting is so bad, I didn't know that was an A and not an O.
Wait, my handwriting or your handwriting?
Your handwriting.
People move.
Oh, I know.
Terrible. Thank you.
You pissed me off. You said you could.
No, it's
Miss Wall.
Yeah.
For the orbital shapes, when we were talking about heating, we was like dumbbell, peanut, and tuna.
Yeah.
Are those all names for the same thing?
Yeah. All right, you guys are gonna need a periodic table. You're gonna need your blue charts. But probably both.
Which one?
So wait, the blue package?
Your blue charts
I never had.
and probably your orange and your colored periodic table. Okay? I would keep both out.
You said blue
Remember,
package.
I would let you have your, this is for you to review for the test. A lot of the questions that I put in here are similar to what is on the test. Okay?
So blue sheets are red.
Not your oxidation sheet, your blue stapled charts that you're gonna get on the test tomorrow.
Our blue package.
You are not getting your oxidation sheet.
I mean, it's
Tomorrow you're getting a blue packet and you're getting a photocopied orange periodic table. You may write and draw and label on it. Those two are considered notes, okay? But I'm allowing you to use them today while we're practicing for your test tomorrow. Okay? What's up?
Well, she is suspect. I can't see my desk. Oh, no, I had to speak. I don't know. I mean,
Now, for those of you, if any of you played this before, okay, you should have. A lot of people use it. Next, this is the new and modern version of clickers. Because clickers break, they need batteries, they need lots of other things. And these are the new and improved versions that cost $20. They need no batteries or anything else. Alright, $20 for a set of
For
cards.
some paper?
For some paper.
I was about to say, these-
Now, on the cards, they have A, B, C, and D answer choices, so you don't have to try to mash buttons. All you have to do is rotate your cards and hold them up, and I will scan them with my iPad. And take a picture of it, and I will get your answer. Now, if you want the answer to be A, you need to hold the card up so A is pointing up. If you want D to be your answer, D needs to be pointing up. Everybody has a different barcode so that, and the A or the B is really, really tiny, so that hopefully people don't cheat and look at other people's answers. Now, I'm sure you've all played four quarters in other classes where, no offense, I'm going to pick on Diamond and Caroline, all right, where they got the answer right and everybody followed them to answer A because they went to answer A. Okay? I certainly did when I was in school. I wasn't stupid. I didn't know the answer. Caroline went to A. Woo, I'm going to answer A. Odds are she got the right answer. I'm going there. Okay? Now, this eliminates that. Everybody has a card. Everybody gets to choose. Now, I'm going to keep the answers with who picked what answers hidden. I don't put the panel up so that it says Devontae picked B while everybody else picks A, so that nobody knows what Devontae picked, nobody knows what Yet picked or what answer they picked. Okay? I'm not out to embarrass anybody. Those things stay on my iPad so I see. I don't even keep the results so I can go back and look later. Okay? No, the idea is just for you to figure out what you did wrong today. Which is why I take this over to Hoots, because it moves at a slower pace. So if you have questions, you can ask. All right? It's going to make it bigger. All right, I told you. All right, which type of EMR has long? I don't know why it has both of those. Longest wavelength. Yep. And you can't have your finger anywhere in any of the black or it won't scan. Turn a little more this way down. There you go. It's just longest. I was probably going to do like highest frequency and I changed it.
Oh, it's the longest.
Oh, I think you can add it if you want to back up.
All right. So microwave was the right answer. All right. Any questions about that?
Yes, I thought it was generated.
All right. So when you look at your blue chart, okay, you've got. Did you look at your blue chart?
No.
Okay. That will cause a problem. So flip to here. See how it says longest and shortest? Okay. So you're looking there. Microwave is here. Gamma rays is here. Infrared and visible. So the one closest to longer wavelength is microwaves. That's what's microwave. Anybody else? All right. Now, my exponents, because Plickers will not let me put an exponent. So it says times 10 and it's got this little -7 times 10 and this little 14. Those are our exponents. Okay? So, you got to calculate. Yes, you might see a calculation. If you need a calculator, go grab one. I'll give you a minute. Okay? You can. You do that too. I have no issues with guessing.
Wait, don't you have to do that whole like equation thing?
This is one I need to fix the computer. This one's coming up blue, which means I didn't tell them that.
Can you see mine?
I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because the new and improved version, I have names on the the things.
I probably did this so wrong.
Oh, dang.
And I did this so wrong.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
yeah, y'all did. Only one person got the answer right.
What is the answer?
B. Alright,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
now, those of y'all who picked A only found the wavelength. Okay? You've got to use, when you did 6.50 times 10 to the negative 7th, that's your wavelength. You've then got to use C equals lambda nu. 3 times 10 to the 8th equals 6.50 times 10 to the negative 7th times frequency. Divide 6.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. 6.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. And you get B. I told you to go get a calculator if you needed it.
All I know
Okay?
is that
Wait, don't erase it.
it ends in 14, so.
I was gonna ask you about it. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, so we're getting down. C is what?
Speed of light
And the speed of light
is 3 times 10 to the 8th. That's a constant.
Yes. Okay. Lambda is 6.5,
Times 10 to the negative 7th, which is what y'all got by changing that.
and that's how we find wavelength.
That's wavelength, yes.
Okay. And then you divided it by lambda. You divided both of them by lambda.
The 6.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. That's some great smile today, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Okay, the V. That's frequency. What is the V?
V is frequency, which is what I asked for in the question.
So
Yes.
wasn't it
So,
something
okay.
where you, like divide 1 point something times 10 to the negative?
Yep, that's how y'all got that. Y'all said 650 nanometers, meters, 1 times 10 to the 9th.
Oh, okay.
That's how you got that number.
Why don't you just move the decimal?
That's what we did.
Okay, but
Moving
okay,
the decimals is the shortcut for that.
okay. But I thought when you have them beside each other, like how lambda and frequency are beside each other, I thought you were supposed to multiply.
You do, but they're not beside each other. These were across the equal sign, so that's why we had to divide.
No, I don't think you understand. Okay. Lambda in the equation, the formula thing, lambda and frequency are beside each other. So I thought you were supposed to.
You would multiply, but we're solving for V. We're not solving.
Okay.
We've got C equals lambda. So we have this number and we have this number. We're solving for this number.
So you have.
So we have to divide.
Okay.
Okay?
Let me get
All right. Am I done with this one?
Sure.
All right. It should be an easy one.
Oh,
Probably still doesn't.
very cool.
How does this work? Is there like some magnetic thing in the paper? Like,
It's just a barcode.
So, yeah.
Hey,
Hey, I don't know if you can see it when I do it, but it scans and I get a reading. Tells me who got it right, who got it wrong. I'm missing
are
somebody.
you serious?
hey,
Oh, so
Missing Griff.
Yep. All right. So,
Hey.
Yeah.
okay,
So which one is directly proportional?
energy and frequency. Okay. All right, and I'm largely right now picking some old stuff to review. So we get closer to the end of class, I'll have more early or latter stuff. Maybe Al. What are you doing back there, dude? Can't scan it at that angle. Your hands in the black. There we go. All right.
What is green?
Okay, one away. Oh, there, no, there it is. Very correct. That's the one.
What?
All right, it's green. Okay, 5.5.
Oh.
Alright.
5.5.
I picked yellow because I
Okay.
didn't look at green. So.
I can't count.
All right, when an electron goes from the ground to the excited state.
Okay, wait, goes from the ground.
From the ground to the excited state.
I'm mad with this.
I got 40.
That's still not like $2 per card. That was in paper. Some ink.
Hey.
That actually is.
I didn't have to photocopy them and laminate them myself. I'm lazy that way.
Cheaper.
Probably would have, but I'm lazy.
$20.
I ain't got that kind of time.
Get a lot. $20. I can buy some.
All right. All right. So we absorb energy and we do not give off light. We only give off light when we do what? When we go down from the excited to the ground state.
I kind of opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some old stuff in here, y'all. Struggling with it. Huh?
What does multicular mean?
What does multicular mean?
Mhm.
Are you related to Brooke? She said the same thing.
Well, I'm just looking at it and I'm like,
What'd you say?
That's multicultural.
That's exactly what it means. Thank you. And that's exactly what she said. I didn't know if you hung out with her and you just brought the junk to class or what. Yeah, that says multicultural. Because we do so many moles in here.
They didn't have them all dressed.
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
What did you say?
Multicular. I mean, you know how many times she said that to me in the span of a semester?
I'm kidding.
I don't know. I lost count. Thousands.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I got it right, but I just got it.
All right, did everybody see the answers, Violet? Any questions about how we get Violet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta find the ring that has 6 to 2. All right, so find the ring that has 6 to 2.
I feel so
I did something
There.
Because it's called.
410, so 4.1. Find the ring. There's 6 to 2. There's the 6 to 2.
Yeah.
You got 410. That'd be 4.1. Anybody else don't know how to do it?
And then they complete. And then they all themselves to solve. I'm the one teacher. That was perfect. But he even taught us about.
At first, I thought it was like your idea of like the cubes, like the little like balls and then balls.
Well, multicultural was.
Okay, if it had the T on the mold, we would have gotten it.
Okay.
But that's what messed me up.
I know this
Got
one.
it because
It should be an easy one.
I'm
He's gonna give me.
F is.
He just hold it up again, it'll rescan.
K
And it's only for SPD.
It allows you to rescape.
Yeah.
Angel, I think you've got up an answer that's not a choice because you're white. Yes. There's somebody over here. All right, I got everybody now.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So I got 3 people who said yes. An F sublevel is the SPDF. It's the 4th sublevel. Do you got to have a what number in front of it? A 4. So a 3 cannot exist. All right. All right. How many electrons does group 15 need to achieve an octet? This was yesterday's discussion. When Diamond was like, I need to understand this.
Well, I got it.
Very good.
Where were those 2 answers? You take the easier one?
Oh,
Only one is.
there's only one right answer.
Police coming in.
How about I say that? The police.
No, like, do we pick one that's easier? Like we were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
it's not gonna do the hard one. All right. All right, so the right answer is gain 3 electrons. It has 5, so the easiest thing to do is gain 3. It's not going to lose 5. Okay? It's not going to lose 5. All right, how many empty orbitals are there in carbon? How many empty orbitals are there in carbon? And I gave you a short one, so it would not take long to draw if you need to draw it. Oh, by the way, those of you who came in late, you forgot to turn in openings yesterday because we were on 10 yesterday. So if you have your openings, we turn those in at the very beginning of class. So don't forget to turn your openings in if you had openings. So that was Annette, ABL, Janet, and Angel.
Wait,
I'm going.
I like myself.
Oh my God, no way.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll tilt it. There you go. I got it.
Making all that.
No. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm missing 2, but I don't know who I'm missing. Let me try this. I'm missing Anthony and Salem. I got you this time. Your fingers in the water. There we go. I got it this time. All right. There's the answer. So, for those of you who didn't get it, 1S, 2S, 2P. How many are empty? There's 1. That's the empty orbital. There's no electrons drawn on it. Okay? If I'd said how many are half filled, you'd have told me what? How many are half filled? This one's half filled. This one's half filled. Okay? You might never live that one down.
Whatever.
They're gonna remember that one for a while.
Just think of it as me making this last time.
Alright, so the answer is 13. Okay? Because I said how many total electrons. So what do we use? Atomic number or outer shell?
I looked at the.
Atomic number. Okay? If I said how many outer shell electrons, you would pick the 3. But I said total electrons, so you gotta use the atomic number.
Right, but I'm usually not thinking right, so I
Oh, I know that.
That's outer shell.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other word I use for outer shell.
Wow.
The test?
No, this.
Oh, I just have some in the queue. We can quit anytime.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
giving you samples of things you might see on the test.
My finger didn't do it. My finger didn't.
do.
Okay.
Hands up.
Yes.
All right. +1. Okay. It's in group 1, so the oxidation number is 1. Our valence electrons is 1. Didn't even need the plus. All right. Let me see here.
They're difficult ones.
I was wondering what it said.
It shouldn't be hard.
Oh. Oh, for real. This is common. You were holding it up for a long time.
Dang.
That sounds like a thing to be upset about.
Wait, what's the thing to be upset about?
Her kids not being in recess.
Yes, that's right.
I want to miss this long period.
That's your only chemistry
It's
class.
the blueberry one.
It makes me get to put in my wild English.
Do you know what period you're teaching chemistry next semester?
Second.
As long as my point is crossed and I have to think.
What about next year?
Caroline, thank you, George.
But she made us make butter. We made butter.
All right, so we got 10 right answers and we got 7 wrong answers. So how do we do this one since we got so many wrong answers?
Okay, you say 18 electrons.
Okay. So if n equals 3, you can hold 18 electrons. S, the P, and the D. So 2 plus 6 plus 10, you can hold 18.
Remember yesterday when you said, when we was doing a little circle thing, so you said that after the energy level that can hold 2 electrons, you said the rest of them can't hold no more than 8.
It holds 8.
Yeah, but that's a Bohr model.
That's a Bohr model. Remember, Bohrs weren't right.
Wait, so,
It's only
wait,
gonna
wait, what?
Okay, then that makes me up for yesterday.
What did you just say?
Ignore what Angela said. Okay, don't worry about her. All right. The third energy level can hold 18 electrons. Okay. And in terms of drawing Bohr, his model with the rings, you can't draw more than 8 on the rings.
And all the race orbitals?
They're energy levels. Now remember, his energy levels can't have more than 8 on the outer shell. But in the energy level itself, the sublevels can have more than 8. It's complex. Okay? So,
The rings are actually
the rings are the outer shell, but the whole energy level has sublevels. The sublevels themselves, added up, can have more than 8.
Oh. So that.
So, when you have like n equals 3, you have 3s, 3p, and 3d. Only this can be an outer shell. This can't be an outer shell. Okay? But this is going to give you 18 electrons total. But all 18 of those can't be on the outer shell. That's why I said the D is never going to be on a ring in a Bohr model. Ever. Okay? So when I say you had 6 electrons currently in it, how many more can it hold? 18 minus 6 is 12.
I can do that, and I can do the other thing separately, but I don't know what to do when you throw them together.
Hope for the best.
Okay,
Well,
that's my favorite.
I feel like this review isn't legit.
So, like, I can do the orbital and find oxidation number, and I can do that, but I don't ever gonna have to apply them together.
I don't know.
Miss Wall.
I don't remember all 65 questions off the top of my head.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
You had 3S, 3P, and then 3D.
Oh, one of my questions, I chose, you said, we had to find the biggest one. The biggest one to do was, what was it?
Yeah. Dot diagrams, probably.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So why didn't you choose 3D?
3D is never going to be the highest energy level. Ever. Because when you write an electron configuration, if you have a D, there will always be something bigger. Okay? So if you end on 3D, there will always be a 4S after it. 4S will always be bigger than a 3D. Always.
Okay.
A D will never, ever be the highest energy level.
Is that the highest thing? You said that the highest number would be the biggest one. And they all had 3, so that's, I was like,
It will be like a 4. D and F are never the highest energy level. Ever.
okay.
So if you write a configuration tomorrow and you get a D as your highest energy level, you did something wrong.
Okay.
Or if you get an F as the highest, something is wrong.
But your example right before here said that S and P were bigger than D.
I was just making something up to illustrate to you that if you have a third energy level, a D is never going to be the highest energy level. So if you write a configuration, let's just say you wrote one, I'm doing it in shorthand, I'm not writing all this out. All right, let's say you did lead, and you have XE, 6S2, 5D10, 4F14, 6P2. Okay? You are never going to have a D or an F that has a bigger number than an S and a P. See how you have S and you have P? Their coefficients will always be bigger than that D and that F. D's and F's coefficients are always going to be smaller. It's the numbers to choose the outer shell.
If they're the same, that would be wrong.
That's right. These letters are never going to have numbers that are the same as these. Ever. They will always have smaller numbers in front of them than the S and the P.
So you'll never have 6D.
You will never have 6D to go with a 6S and a 6P. It will always be numbers smaller by 1.
And those numbers can't be bigger than 7.
They cannot be bigger than 7.
So we have like a 7S.
Yes. Yes.
Is that always?
Yes.
Just for this class?
Right now, we don't have any elements on the periodic table to warrant bigger than 7S or 7P. We have filled the 7th row completely.
Great. Awesome.
So back to the circle with the dot in the middle, the nucleus, and then the rings around it, which are energy levels. Under the energy levels, there's sublevels, but that's not represented in the picture.
Correct.
So the energy levels cannot have more than 8 on the board because you were wrong.
Correct.
So it's 2, 8, 8.
Yes.
Honestly, if I come tomorrow, I failed because what you just said.
Lala, you're going to do better than you think you are.
I am not. This
No, I was going to do 1 or 2 more.
My natural intellect is not there anymore.
All right. See if you remember this one. Oh, I need to get rid of all this crap. was the L value?
That's definitely,
Did it start out with 0 or 1?
You gotta know. You gotta think, bud. Think.
You know, she fried her brain with that little ticket. She's done for the race.
Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out how.
You started to go home and tell your mom that story.
I'm not. My entire family likes doing fun me for not having any comments.
Mine too.
Fine.
My family doesn't.
What'd you say?
They like to make sure they
I just can't believe two people called us with that said.
I thought it was beginning of the year.
All right, give me this.
Did you make
Just 'cause I
those
didn't
as molds?
Yeah, that's the third time I've made those molds.
How long
I
did
made
it
a mold the other day.
It probably took me a whole day to remake the recipe. All right, Miss Janet and Caroline.
Right.
And it's.
Wait,
Thanks a lot for making all those clothes.
Have you ever had Miss Cross? She'll tell you her dog used to eat you, batteries.
All right,
Use that now.
So my cat killed them all and my dog ate it.
all right, that's not bad.
Ate it.
All right, one more.
It was like the second day we got it.
That's all.
Cats are my favorite. Because
All
dogs.
right, last one.
Oreos?
Okay, wait.
I guess 2 is not a sub-level, it's an energy level.
Two sub-levels.
It's an energy level. How many orbitals can it hold?
Oh.
Look, I only get so many characters in this thing.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I can't use subscripts or superscripts.
That's. Man, for $20, I wouldn't let me do it. Man, 20
It's a free. The cards are the only thing I have to pay for. Everything else is free. I keep hoping they'll eventually put superscripts and subscripts in,
Wait.
but they haven't. Which is why we generally don't do it with math.
Deja vu. And I know what.
I was gonna tell you this now.
You say that, stay shopping.
Yeah, it's like this happened before. I'm serious, and I died wrong. I remember.
Four.
I think.
Well, if you know yours is wrong, just choose the right one.
I don't know what the right one is.
Why would you choose?
Bro, just let it happen.
You know
All right. So the correct answer is 4. Because if n equals 2, how many sublevels are there? 2. How many orbitals in S?
1.
How many in P? 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. All right, put your cards on my desk. If you have a calculator, put your calculator in the tub. I will post the answers on the website.
Okay.
Hey, listen, I need to go ahead and scan the answers
I wasn't
now.
wrong.
I mean, technically you were, but you were.
I feel like on my
But you had you feeling the inside of her
Miss Hall, what's the after school? I'll be at 4-6.
I was like,
I'm leaving at 4:30, so I know you'll be out here before 6.
Okay. Then I'll say.
Okay.
she was so excited. She was so excited she's calling Niley. And Niley is hurt.
No, are you?
But Eileen tried to say that at the same